Brian Minnick is Chief Operating Officer at Zero Bounce, a leading email verification and delivery platform used to improve inbox placement and reduce bounce rates. With that, Brian, we're thrilled to hear your presentation and very happy to have you at the event. So welcome, and we're looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me. And I'm very excited to kind of share some information today. Obviously, this is going to be a fast one, so I'm going to pack a lot in here. I've had probably one or two too many cups of coffee, so I'm going to keep up the speed of pace here to get this all in. So excited to share everyone some information. And we're going to be talking about kind of the hidden revenue leaking that's happening in your email program. And I come across this on a daily basis. So I really wanted to share some of the learnings and the findings that I constantly see and be able to surface some of those so you're aware of what might be happening inside of your organization as well. Just a little bit about myself and some background. I've been with Zero Bounce for over 7 years. I've been in tech and marketing my entire life. I started as a software developer when I was in my early teens and just constantly have been involved and have learned by curiosity and purely just pushing boundaries on what we can and can't do on technology. So I took all of that experience, brought it into all the companies I've worked with, and for over 15 years here in tech and marketing. So excited for that. A little bit about Zero Bounce just quickly. So we help over 600,000 businesses. Just a quick sampling of some of the logos that trust us to make sure their email campaigns are successful. We've been part of Inc. 5000 4 times, making that list. And so we're a fast-paced growing company and servicing everybody, small, large, near and far. And we run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So when I say I've seen it all, I've seen it all. And I can actually say that with a lot of confidence from, small mom and pops up into some of the largest organizations. And what I'm finding is they all have common problems, even if the size is significantly different. So let's get into it. Your email marketing campaigns. I'm starting to hear this a lot. Well, they just aren't working for me. I'm doing all the right things and I'm just not getting the performance that everyone says I should be getting. And so the common questions that we start to see and where I want to start to get your brain going here is that just like your thought process, your ESP or the company that you use to send mail from, and I don't care which one you use, that's fine. There's no bias towards any of them. What I'm sharing with you is that they are always going to tell you everything looks great because they can't really see what's happening. And so what they focus on, and when you look at your dashboards, you see these delivery rates. And you'll see a 98% delivery rate, or all of my campaigns were sent successfully. There's no problems, these type of things. It's very common to see it. What we have found is that the metric of delivery rate is really a vanity metric. It's not something that's really powerful or impactful for you to be looking at. And deliverability is a much different topic. And that's what I'm going to give you some information on today. Deliverability is when your emails are in the inbox. Delivered means the email was sent. Very, very different concept. You can think of it like the post office, because I don't know about you, and Michael, not sure how often you're using the post office, but it feels like for every 10 pieces of things I send out, somebody tells me they never got it at the other end. And so that's how I see deliverability as well. It's the ability for the recipient to actually receive the email. So your pipeline's telling you a different story. Everything looks good, but you don't have any revenue coming in from email, or you're not seeing the responses you're looking for or the engagement. And this is going into the difference between delivered and that deliverability. So your ESP is always going to tell you what your delivered rate is. And why they tell you that is because it's the only thing they can actually tell you. Okay. So they don't know what happens once that email is sent off of their server into your recipient's mailboxes. The only thing they can say is that they delivered the piece of mail. But the question you should all be asking is delivered where? Where was the mail delivered to? And so delivered only means that the recipient's mail was accepted at the server level. Was it delivered to the inbox? Was it delivered to spam? Was it blocked altogether by a spam filter? And again, delivery is just really this like technical metric that always looks really good. And deliverability is an outcome of your mail campaigns. Very, very different. The problem here is it's always a revenue problem. People are in the business of email marketing to generate revenue or generate leads. We generally like to kind of preach around that 80-20 rule. 80% should be you're delivering great content, you're delivering great information, but you do absolutely use email as a revenue channel. And so the problem is you are either paying to acquire leads, or you're sending to your email list, you're staffing people to create these campaigns, you're staffing a designer to go look and modify and make sure it's beautiful. And then the outcome is a lot of your mail is sometimes never even seen because it's in the spam folder. And so you're optimizing campaigns and you're doing a lot of things, but unfortunately, they sometimes never reach people. That's big problem that we're constantly seeing. And again, I've showed you those logos that we engage with. That's just a sampling. There's no one immune to this. Absolutely no one immune to this. And that's the interesting part. And so how does this stuff all happen? Where do we go? How do we get there? And so what we're commonly seeing is teams going wrong is they're optimizing for list growth. So they want to grow the list as fast as possible, which means they're acquiring data, or they are just, they're trying to put their arms around as much as possible. They're thinking about quantity, not quality. That's a problem, by the way. You want to focus on quality. We'll talk more about that. And you're trusting delivery metrics like it's the ultimate tell of what's going on. You have to work backwards. What was the goal of that campaign? If it was performance of revenue, what was the revenue? If the revenue is very low, you got to challenge that. It's delivered is probably not the reason it was low. Messaging probably wasn't the reason it was low either. It's probably a more technical error. A lot of people are also just ignoring all these inactive users that are on their email database. It's another constant thing that we're seeing. That's not a good stat to ignore. So we're going to talk about that as well. And you just treat everything equal. So you don't think about the type of customers on your list. You don't think about, is this a paying customer versus a non-paying customer? Would you want to send those people the same message? Is this someone who signed up last week or last year or 5 years ago? Should they all be getting the same message? And so what we start to see is people just get comfortable and they just start to go down one lane. And that one lane is for everybody in their head. And in reality, that's not what's happening. So when email fails, it actually fails really, really quietly. It just, every metric starts to drop. The open rates drop. The performance, the revenue generated drops. And it starts to fail really silently. And then unfortunately, you're just starting to not believe in email marketing, or you don't know what the issue is, or you just ignore it. Or what's even worse, sadly, what's worse, you get comfortable thinking that this is how it's supposed to be. I want to challenge everyone there. It's not how it's supposed to be. Here's some things that we've put together to do a quick email health checklist. And these are things you can do on your own and do it quickly. Number one, you have to stop reputation leaks. Deliverability is a game of trust with mail servers. Okay. It is not something that is handed out to you. It is a game of trust. You must create trust and receive trust. And how do you do that? Well, first, the easiest one is making sure that there's no hard or soft bounces that are taking place on your mail campaigns. A hard bounce basically means the user doesn't exist. Put the trust level back. Why are you emailing people that don't exist? The mail servers pick up on this. Gmail picks up on this. Microsoft picks up on this. They have access to their whole network. So if you send whatever the number is, 1,000 messages, 10,000 messages to Gmail, and 4,000 of those are to users that don't exist, Gmail is going to take a look at you and say, who is this sender? Why are they sending to a bunch of people that don't exist? This is probably spam. That will happen quietly. You will never know that's taking place unless you're monitoring inbox placement and other things there. So just be aware of it. The hard bounces, they're so easy to remove, by the way. So incredibly easy. A quick upload in a verification software, you get the access back, who exists, who doesn't exist. And data churns, period. If you have emails that you've had for a very long time, they churn. Businesses close. People move jobs. If you're in the B2B space, we see over 30% churn of data. Consumer emails churn typically less, but they are known to be abandoned. And that's where the inactive status would come in. So you want to provide good signals to the mail servers. Okay. That's one thing. Easy trick to get this under control. Make sure that you have good email accounts that you're sending to. That's the most basic thing. Number two, false volume. Sending to emails that we call them role-based or group emails. Info at, sales at, support at. These are generally have low engagement and they have high volume. What does that mean? So when you send to an email like support at or sales at, you guys are running businesses. I'm running a business. Those go to multiple people, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15, sometimes hundreds, depending upon the size of your organization. So you sent one email that went to a group of people that probably aren't anticipating or wanting your email, and you may get a high spam complaint rate. So I sent one email and got 20 spam complaints on that. One send, that one piece of email I delivered, is a really bad signal to the mail servers. It's saying, who is this? This is a spammer. Put them in the spam folder. So it will kill your reputation. You want the engagement to be good. So you want to maximize who you're sending to. Make sure you're sending to people and not group emails, by the way. This is a very overlooked, where they're just saying, well, that's what they gave me. I'm not arguing that. Maybe try to send them a piece of mail and see who the actual person is behind it and try to get that one on your list instead. So don't optimize for mass reach, optimize for engagement. ISPs love engagement. That's the difference between being in the spam folder and the inbox. Number 3, you're grabbing data from risky growth channels. Okay. Not all of these companies and data providers and even your own forms are necessarily perfect. Okay. Typos are happening nonstop. Bots are hitting these forms. You're grabbing data from some of these other providers. You're purchasing data. I don't want to name any names because it's irrelevant. Purchase data is through these big organizations as well. Okay. They are selling quantity. They're not always selling quality. Please keep that in mind. I've been working at Zero Bounds for 7 years now. I have some emails of employees that are no longer here that route to me. I'm getting emails to them like they just started at the company and they've been gone for 4 years. So this data is very stagnant. It's very old. Be aware of it. There's also these disposable emails. It's a really big new thing, especially if you're doing anything on the consumer side where you offer maybe coupons, promos, you gate content, gate a case study, whatever it might be. People will use these temporary emails, and what that means is a disposable email. This is bringing me back to my childhood. It's the Inspector Gadget message to me. It is a message it's a mailbox that exists in real time, but the second they leave that web page, because it's all over the place, you can go to thousands of websites and grab one of these temporary emails, it self-destructs. You can no longer contact that person again. So it's not a marketable contact, but people will keep trying to send email to it, and that's going to hurt your reputation as well. These ISPs do know the domains of them, and companies like us know them as well. That's how we help identify to make sure. And then some of the fake submissions, the bots, everybody. I don't know anyone that's had a form that hasn't been attacked by a bot at some point. You have to understand that that's really bad quality data that is leaking into your reputation. So the danger zone is also in actives. They create a lot of drag. Reputation is built on a stats game. It's a statistics game. Okay. So if you send to 10,000 people and 40% don't engage, that's a really low number. Now, if you removed those 40% and now you sent to 6,000 people and all of them engage, your engagement rate is looked at as super high. And the mail providers, Gmail, Outlook, whoever it is, are going to build a lot of trust on that and go, wow, this is somebody that people want mail from. They're engaging with this person. They're opening, they're clicking, they're forwarding, whatever it might be. It's a really big signal. And the way to kind of manipulate that stat is to really take a look at your inactives and either maybe segment them or send them a breakup email, do something. But somebody that hasn't engaged with your email campaigns in over 1 year, why do you keep sending to them? If it's for the quantity side, I'm challenging that. Think more quality. If they haven't engaged with your email, it's not working anyway. So don't get too hung up on it. Few things I want you guys to be able to take away is some questions you should ask. Do you have hard bounce rates under control, less than 1%? If your hard bounce rates are over 1%, in particular over 2%, the ISPs will put you in the spam folder immediately. Okay. They know you're doing something that's not a best practice. You're grabbing a bunch of new data that's not good. Or you keep sending to emails that are bouncing, and why do they want to necessarily put your emails in the inbox? If you have any source that's over 2% bounce rates, you need to really question that source. So if you're purchasing data and you're getting high bounce rates from it, you have to question these data sources. I'm sorry, they don't care. They care about quantity. That's how they make their money. They don't care about quality. Are you trying to segment your role accounts? These are infos at, sales at, support at. Look at segmenting those to see how they react differently when you send a campaign to them. And if you have inactives over 40%, you have to take a look at that. And you have to take an action with these people. Don't just keep sending email to them because you're sending to basically duds. There's nothing on the other side. Send them a breakup email. Hey, if you guys don't click this link, you're off my list next week. And if they don't, you should really look at removing them. And is the engagement stable? This is probably the biggest indicator if you're in the inbox or spam folder. If you're stable, you'll see those rates be high and good. When they drop and collapse and they normalize at a collapse, it's because your engagement is really bad. So grab a few of these, screenshot it, do whatever you want. Ask these questions to your email marketing manager. They're really important to understand if you're getting campaigns. You want better content. You want more engagement. So it's not just your content. It's the quality of your data. It's the signals that the mail servers are getting towards you. And it's what's building your reputation over time. And so email performance isn't about what you send. It's about who you send to and how they react with your emails. That's how you make money in email marketing. Okay. It's not just a notification system. It should be an engagement platform for you. And so with that, the real lever, deliverability step one, you have to be focused on getting into the inbox. Inbox placement is the goal. Inbox. I stress inbox. That is where the money is to be made. And so if you protect your data protects your deliverability, and you will see that your stats and all of this will start to come back up. And so with that, it's a lot of content in just a few minutes. And I hope there's been some good takeaways for you. And yeah, thank you for hearing me out.
Brian, thanks for that fantastic presentation. A lot of details that I think everyone at the event today will have some takeaways from. Coming up on our next Q&A panel, Brian will be fielding any questions that people at the live event have. So type them into the Q&A box that you see right in front of you.
Excited for those.